Part 103. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Renhuo Xiangxiao. Chapter 1060. In North America, satellites monitor military bases. General, an immeasurable cosmic power has appeared in the sky of the elf world. The power contains ghosts, water, steel, and the most terrifying dragon. Ghost, water, steel, dragon. What kind of spirit is there in the universe? Wait. General, hurry up, this, what is this? On the screen that appeared during the satellite detection, without any warning, a pair of eyes that seemed to be able to penetrate the world appeared. The legendary spirit of the dark world, Giratina. Has it come to the real world of elves? A greeting from the universe, from the dark world, was transmitted to the real world of elves through radio waves at this moment. Not just North America, but the whole world. A human in the real world of elves, I am Giratina. This greeting seems to have the power to shake the soul. Giratina, the Dark Dragon King. This, what's going on? Did you hear that sound? No way, I thought it was my tinnitus. Look. On top of Mount Everest, where the North Star lights up, next to it, why are there two more stars there? Shouldn't the stars next to the North Star be all dim? That's not a star. That's a pair of eyes. A pair of eyes from the universe. The owner of these eyes gradually transformed into a formidable figure in the endless darkness. Netherworld Dragon King. For the first time, the shadow of Giratina, the Dark Dragon King, appeared in the sky above all areas covered by the reverse world in the real world of elves. Whether it is China, the surrounding Sakura country, Mongolia, or Australia in the Pacific, including the entire Western countries and the Americas on the east coast of the Pacific, the figure of the Pluto Dragon King can be seen in the entire world. In the dark night, there is mystery and endless pressure. However, in the greetings of Giratina, the Dragon King of the underworld, people felt an inexplicable sense of goodwill from the universe. Nether Dragon King, Yang Yu, is this the true form of Nether Dragon King Giratina, Wan Kai's who swallowed his saliva? The unreal scene before his eyes made him seem to have doubts about the realm of gods. New understanding. It seems, it's not that simple. Wu Yuqian was frightened and kept staring at both sides of the shadow on the sky. On both sides, there seems to be something unknown hidden. Until two pairs of completely different yet extremely cold eyes appeared again. Body of steel, body of pearl. Dialga's silver gray body and Pakia's body that was soaked in pure white and shimmering faintly, like diamonds and pearls, two unique and precious colors, reflected each other on the sky at this moment. The controller of time, the controller of space, Dialga, Pakia. The legendary elves in the elven world, together with the Dark Dragon King Giratina, the three appeared together on the sky of the real elven world. Even if they were just phantoms, they brought a strong cognitive shock to countless trainers. What is going on? How did they appear in our world? Dragon Messenger Xiazhepeng was full of vigilance for the first time. He even held the Pokeball in his hand, and the Kuai Long beside him was also ready for a possible battle. However, the figures that appeared in the sky were not Giratina or Dia. The real bodies of Luca and Pakia are phantoms transformed through projection. This should be the first communication between the patron saint of the reverse world and the god of time and space with the elf world that transcends time and space. The king of summer, Giratina, the dragon king of the underworld, is here to seek assistance from our human trainers. The difficulties encountered in reversing the world this time are very difficult. Yang Yu rushed to the base camp of the Dragon Messenger and Ice Queen in the Everest area as soon as possible. The appearance of the three gods in the sky showed that Giratina had reached an agreement with Dialga and Pakia. This time, face the problems from the ultimate world together. Yang Yu, Xia's Hepeng suddenly thought that the Ice Queen had told him that Yang Yu met the Dark Dragon King Giratina in the reverse world, and returned to the elf world early this time to make them aware of the dangers of this natural disaster. Then Yang Yu. It is very likely that he is the human trainer who is the key to communication between the real world of elves and the reverse world, and serves as a link. King Summer, our elves have not felt the malice of Giratina, the Dark Dragon King. In fact, my sister Ms. Y told me that Giratina met us with great goodwill, Wang Tongbing said in a deep voice. In comparison, Dialga and Pakia didn't want to have too much communication with human trainers, but they were dragged over by Giratina, and they showed up just once. It seems to feel pretty good. Humanity is shocked. The world is shocked. It seems that we are really going to have a communication across time and space with the guardian of the reversed world. Xia's Hepeng's heart was racing. The dialogue between the world and the world will make Xia's Hepeng's understanding of the elf world even higher. Above the King of Heaven. Perhaps, this is an important opportunity. To reverse the world, we need the assistance of human trainers in the real world of elves. Giratina said succinctly. At the same time, behind Giratina's phantom, the picture gradually began to reverse and evolve. When the endless night, a light like a halo gradually began to appear. A picture that shocked countless human trainers, finally passed through this kind of scene. The method is presented before your eyes. Like a total solar eclipse. Within the circle of light, there was darkness. Light is painful, and darkness is painful. The blending of the sun and the moon, the blending of the sun and the moon. This. These are clearly three elves. What are you doing? Elf fusion. Could it be that this is the real reason behind the crisis that turned the world upside down? The scene of the void made Wan Kaizhu, Wu Yuqin and other young trainers truly realize that there were many things outside of this world that they could not understand with common sense now. Elf fusion, or in other words, the ultimate form of elven fusion, will reveal a more mysterious path to the world. In the ultimate space, the fusion of the sun, the moon, and the black elves has led to this crisis. I would like to invite human trainers to join hands with the reverse world, the time world, the space world, and the dream world to welcome the coming from the ultimate space. The most difficult problem in the world. In the reverse world. Temporary camp for North American trainers. Elf fusion, it turns out we all went wrong. Ultron's dream. In front of the fusion power of elves, that's nothing. Ha 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 ha, I found it. This is the evolution path of the ultimate elf. Elves of the ultimate space, you wait for us. Pokemon's character master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 1061. The rules here, are they a space deliberately created by Giratina? Coming to the reverse world again, Yang Yu was surprised to find that the previous rules of the reverse world did not apply to humans and elves from the elf world. In other words, it was Giratina who created a space that was similar to the rules of the real world of elves, so that humans and elves no longer had to adapt to the weird rules of the reverse world. Yang Yu, didn't you say that the rules of the reverse world are opposite to those of the elf world? Wu Yuqin, who knew something, asked in a low voice. Giratina, Pakia, and Dialga, they worked together to create such a space for us. Yang Yu stretched out his hand and drew a box similar to a barrier. Wu Yuqin and Wan Kaizhu nodded at the same time. Just like the Monopoly space map created by Mana Fei in the deep-sea secret realm of Atlantis, the cube water world allows humans and elves to breathe easily in the water. Boom 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 boom. Amid the ongoing discussions about the reverse world, the Source Project Trainer Front Alliance from the elf world saw shocking scenes in the reverse world. A corner of the sky collapsed. I have never seen the scene of the sky collapsing. At this moment, Wan Kaizhu couldn't help but tremble in his heart, because where the sky collapsed, Some elves that had never appeared before appeared in front of him with incredible elven moves. What kind of elves are these? Oh my god, many elves with gym level strength may not be that powerful. Now, there are only so many. In the wild, if only one rare and powerful elf appears, trainers who are interested in capturing it may go to capture it, but like this, a whole group of powerful ultimate beasts are not so easy to deal with. Yes. An elf from that world. It feels like an alien invasion. Wan Kai's who couldn't help but trembled, and his words resonated with many trainers around him. Regarding alien, human trainers have searched for deoxys, but in the end they could only take mysterious pictures in satellites, but now, everything they see before their eyes is real. Scenes. Oh my god. As the trainer camp gets closer and closer to the front line of the reverse world, the emotion that seems to be mixed with the sadness of the world lingers in everyone's mood. Because the reverse world is part of the elven world. If this crisis cannot be resolved, today's reverse world will be the tomorrow of the real elven world. The sky will eventually collapse. This is it. After the collapse of all areas of the sky in front of you is connected in series, the face of that world will be completely revealed. Darkray's survey in the dream world finally understood that the sky of the reverse world, facing the ultimate space, is a line of defense, and this line of defense lost most of its role as the sky collapsed. It's time to take a stand. Can we withstand the solar energy from the ultimate space? This question abounds in the human trainer camp. We will succeed, even if we can't stop it, we must stop it. The words from Dragon Messenger Xia's Hepeng shocked many trainers in the Source project. There is no way out. At the moment when the solar energy in the ultimate space explodes, it can be weakened by 1 point. In this way, when the energy of this explosion impacts the real world of elves, the chance of winning there will be 1 point higher. Human trainers are not that fragile. Don't worry, human trainers, the Dark Dragon King Giratina, will stand in front of you along with Dialga and Palkia. We are the first line of defense in the face of the ultimate space crisis. The roaring sound shook the soul. Giratina's words gave the human trainer who was present at this moment an even more incredible and profound understanding of the patron saint of this world. There used to be misunderstandings about the reverse world, and in history, there were many trainers who vilified the world. Only by personal experience and seeing with your own eyes can you understand the meaning of reversing the existence of the world. This is also part of the elf world. Because the rules of this world are different from those of the real world of elves, should we look at it differently? The reverse world is also part of the unknown universe in the elf world. Perhaps this is an inevitable prejudice. This crisis is also an opportunity. Look, the sky over there. The last piece of the puzzle in that world. What's this? Everything that happens in the reverse world has exceeded the imagination of human trainers. Any event that happens now, if you are on guard, you can't help but be amazed. Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia, the three figures, greeted each other in front, facing the direction of the sky's evolution. The other side of the reverse world is revealed. At this moment, not only the camp of human trainers is stopping, but also those ultimate alien beasts that have arrived in the reverse world and are controlled by the owners of the floating islands in each district of the reverse world. They can't help but stare at it from afar. Come and watch. This is their home. But the drastic changes in their homeland have changed their expressions. Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma. The ruler of the ultimate space finally appeared before the fog when he reversed the last hole in the world's sky, and made a shocking appearance in the eyes of human trainers. So close, yet so far away. Oh dash. Hulu. The sound of one after another kept coming from several small floating islands not far away. This kind of fanatical and awe-inspiring sound made the human trainers frequently look at them. Those are. What is that? Isn't it too ugly? It's over, I feel like my eyes are dirty. The king of hate-eaters picked up a few stone-like things from nowhere and stuffed them into his mouth. They looked like secret hamburgers, and his strange dancing appearance made people feel sick. They are all elves of that world. To us, they are the ultimate beasts. Are these the ultimate beasts? Dragon Messenger Xiazhepeng was secretly shocked. At this time, the types of ultimate beast elves were more abundant than before, and the number of elves in the population was also greater, countless. After this crisis, these elves must be sent back to the ultimate space. Giratina said slowly. In the light and darkness in front of me, the three mysterious elves seemed to be breathing, opening and closing, and as time passed, the sky collapsed and became clearer. Human trainers truly saw the most terrifying elf from the unknown world, Necrozma, who was still in the derivation and fusion stage. Just as the human trainer camp was preparing to prepare, two figures who came from nowhere rushed towards Nanacrozma. That is. Dragon Messenger Xiazhepeng's expression changed dramatically. King of Heaven, Dwight. Dwight, the King of North America, what does he want to do? Act recklessly. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 1062. The Source of the Energy of the Sun and Moon. If I capture such an elf, who can be my opponent? Ha 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 ha. Dr. Mecha and King Dwight, who lost the dream of Ultron elves in the reverse world, accidentally observed the ultimate elves from another world. And behind that world, the scene of the fusion of elves made them truly realize that there was a road that human elf researchers had never traveled before, right in front of them. Waiting and dormant, Dr. Mecha kept staring at the collapse of the sky, and finally analyzed the most likely fact. When the sky at the forefront of the inverted world collapses completely and all the blocks are finally connected to form a complete collapsed area, the veil of that world will be revealed. It was precisely at that critical moment that they had the best chance to strike first. Be one step ahead of human trainers from other countries and regions, capture and control powerful elves, and thereby control the entire world of ultimate space. Ultron's dream, what about the elves they created, in front of the fusion elves, but oral, because in front of this kind of fusion elves, the entire reverse world will tremble. Go, Master Ball. The Pokeball, which was researched by human trainers and created with the highest success rate in capturing wild elves, was thrown from the hands of King Dwight towards Fang Necrozma's world. In Dwight's extremely fanatical eyes, that old body that is almost 70 years old actually seems to be 17 years old at this moment. As long as I capture this elf, King of Heaven, so what? Perhaps, he is the incarnation of God. This fused elf is an ownerless elf, a wild elf. Everyone can get it? Why can't it be him, Dwight? The expansion of ambition went to his head. When he saw the figures of Giratina, Palkia, and Dialga in the human trainer camp, he snorted contemptuously in his heart. This is an area where two worlds merge. Reversing the rules of the world cannot affect Dwight's actions. Stay. The anger in Yang Yu's heart suddenly gathered in his mind, and in his eyes, only Dwight's figure, who did not know whether to live or die, was left. This is the most unavoidable situation in the Source Project Human Trainer Front Alliance. Necrozma's terror is simply beyond the reach of current manpower. The terrifying power in the fusion even requires the cooperation of humans and elves. Only together can we withstand the power of the merging worlds. Dwight is just a king, why should he? This will destroy the hard-earned trust between humans and elves. Humanity. Infinite anger burst out of Dialga's eyes, and the wings of time and space behind him released the silver-gray power of time and space like a sharp sword. Dialga's actions caused the union between humans and elves to collapse. Gap. There is no power of trust in itself. At this moment, in Dialga's eyes, the alliance has collapsed. However, at the moment when Dialga was about to take action, someone was faster than it. Dragon Messenger. The Dragon King of the West. And, that Sea King Yang Yu. Yang Yu didn't know that in the eyes of Western trainers, his elf attributes and his performance as a god in the secret realm of the sea had earned him the title Sea King, but at this moment, no one felt that this title was unreasonable. Such a move is equally reasonable. Dwight, King of North America, ruined our union. We need an explanation. In the chaos, everyone's eyes were still focused on Dwight, who flew out on the back of the dragon. No one wants the answer that Dwight can successfully capture this powerful elf. Although many people have palpitations in their hearts, and even have the same thoughts as Dwight in their hearts, some reason makes them give up. Way of doing. This is a crisis that even Giratina, Pakia, and Dialga need to work together to deal with. Does one person, even the King of Heaven, have any chance of winning against Necrozma? No chance of winning. It will even arouse Necrozma's anger. The most terrifying thing, and also the thing Giratina least wanted to see, finally happened. When the Necrozma elves merged, Giratina wanted to have an exchange with the leader of the ultimate space world between the Master of the World and the Master of the World. But now, due to the destruction of the human trainer Dwight, instead, it aroused Necrozma's endless anger. The crisis is coming early. Solgaleo, Lunala, and Necrozma in the original form, the three of them jointly felt the greed from Dwight, the king of the elf world, and wanted to trap them with elf balls and let them complete loss of freedom. At this moment, even if they were initially unwilling to merge the three into one, the same anger, or in other words, the fact that alien humans wanted to imprison them, made them briefly unified. Battlefront. It is precisely when facing the same enemy that the strength of the three of them improves and adapts to each other during the fusion. Even if it is just a little process, it is a huge step for the fusion. Perhaps Dwight himself didn't know that this step made Necrozma's integration smoother. However, Necrozma will not show mercy. Feel the terrifying power, from the god of the ultimate space world. The blazing sun is like an awakening lion, and the image of the lion is exactly the way the sun god Solgaleo pounces forward ferociously, with tearing claws and thunderbolts coming from the other end of the sky. Giratina, the Dark Dragon King, looked particularly serious. The solar energy bursting from the other side of the world at this moment gave him a clearer understanding of the gods of the other world. However, at this moment, behind Giratina, there is an entire reverse world, and behind the reverse world, there is also a real world of elves. Precisely because of the existence of two worlds, Giratina has his own inevitable concerns. Be prepared to face the crisis from the ultimate world in advance. Giratina knew that this was not the time to blame the human trainer camp, but that he needed to deal with the world's crisis, but such a crisis. It is the wrath of the ultimate space god. From Necrozma's Wrath. The power of the brain core. The moment Yang Yuling blankly took action against Dwight, he couldn't help but start to be vigilant in fear. The deep memory began to alert Yang Yu at this moment. The power from the future indicates that this crisis will be particularly difficult. The characteristic brain core power derived from the combination of Solgaleo, Lunala, and Necrozma will use the most exquisite moves to expand the energy of the sun at this moment infinitely. The Throne Master Ball was swallowed up by the fire of the sun as Dwight's frightened expression suddenly stopped, and under the image of Solgaleo's lion body formed by the flames, a giant mouth, coming from across the world. No. Not like this. Why is this happening? Perhaps Dwight did not understand until his death what the ultimate Necrozma meant. Perhaps it would take human trainers several generations to truly understand how powerful the ultimate elf would be after the fusion. Fear. But now, the crisis has arrived. It was the flame of the entire world, like a giant sundae, like a supernova explosion. The endless flames burst out from under Necrozma's control. Space. Pakia, cut off through the air. Giratina spread all his legs and feet and moved with all his strength. Perhaps this was the first time Giratina had used all his strength in thousands of years. The body of King Dwight may be like a tiny ant, so insignificant in front of the world. However, it gave human trainers uncontrollable fear in their hearts. Summon the elves and respond with all your strength. Don't forget what's behind us and our elven world. Just as the human trainers were waking up and reacting, a black figure appeared in front of a sun-like sphere. Then, what is that? Nightmare God, Darkrai. Pokemon's character master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 1063. Human trainers are in awe and fear of darkness. Darkness is the unknown in the environment, and the unknown is the source of uneasiness. But I don't know why, at this moment, in front of the extremely terrifying light, the darkness brought a trace of stability and warmth. Nightmare God Darkrai, why is he here? Dragon Messenger Xiazhepeng was extremely surprised. In his heart, he asked himself this question in shock. This is the voice of all human trainers. They have issued instructions to let their powerful elves use all their moves to resist the terrifying light that spans time and space in front of them, but from the bottom of their hearts, such power makes them more or less desperate. The power of the sun. How could they be able to resist it? However, at this critical moment, a figure that they had never expected appeared in front of them as if from the dark corner of their psychology, releasing the terrifying dark power of evil and blocking them from the ultimate space. Terrifying light. Darkrai. The pupils in Dialga's metal eyes trembled. It never thought that the hateful bug in its mind, namely Darkrai, would stand up resolutely at this moment. Darkrai. Pakia was shocked in his heart, and he asked himself, in the face of such a terrifying power, even it would never stand up as simply as Darkrai. Darkrai. Cressalia's body continuously releases superpowers, providing reliable super protection in this frontline army, but it seems so small in front of the anger of the world where Necrozma lives. At this moment, the tears of the dream god suddenly fell. What are you waiting for? Use the most powerful force to resist the energy of the sun. Are you just going to watch Darkrai face the wrath of Nanacrozma alone? The ghost flames burning on Giratina's body, and the antimatter energy that reversed the world's slumber, were like stars continuously shooting towards them at this moment. Gathered within the body, in this brief moment, it is necessary to resist the energy of the entire world in this ultimate space. A united force is needed. Damn it! Yang Yu looked at the black figure. In the wind, the body of the nightmare god looked like a rickety old man dressed like a windless man. And the usual carefree appearance, at this moment, looked like a mountain, an incomparable mountain. The broad mountain stands at the forefront of the crisis. Gradually. When the infinite light gradually engulfed Nadakray's figure in everyone's eyes, the rag-like elf floating on his body disappeared from their eyes. Darkrai. The heart-wrenching cry of the dream god flashed through the minds of human trainers like lightning. She wanted to find Darkray's figure in the light, but the light gave her endless despair. Perhaps only Darkrai himself knows that Necrozma's superpower is as powerful as the sun among the legendary elves here, only he with pure black evil power can stop him. Cressalia. For the dream god I want to protect, for the world I want to protect. Farewell. In Darkray's last consciousness, he seemed to see those figures that brought him warmth one by one, and he didn't even have the thought of hating Necrozma. Maybe he, like Necrozma, is a helpless elf. In the blazing light, a dark aperture burst out like a star annihilating. This is Darkray's last power. The world's annihilation level evil wave. All elves, enter the defensive state. Giratina can no longer worry about whether his power is too huge. The energy explosion in front of him must be resisted, otherwise the aftermath of the explosion will intersect in time and space in this world. Turn the world around. It can no longer withstand too much torture. Dark Ray. Yang Yu felt his heartbeat skipping a beat at this moment. Looking at the big explosion in the starry sky, he even began to feel a little confused. The real world of elves? Magic City, Ghost Tower. Attention all units, the aftermath of solar energy is about to reach the atmosphere. The aftermath of solar energy is about to reach the atmosphere. The defensive forces on the ground and in the sky are preparing the last line of defense for the real world of elves. G. In the Ghost Tower, an extremely huge Jengar silently stood up from his super huge version of the throne. He looked up at the night sky, and then quietly lowered his head. There were some tears in the corners of Gengui Liahei's eyes. Turn out to be. It is really a nightmare god. At the moment when the light burst, Gengui Liahei vaguely saw that figure, that thin figure. G. Gengui Liahei doesn't have many interactions with the nightmare god, but at this moment, Gengui Liahei wants to say. Let Dark Ray accept its little apprentice. However, their worlds are forever separated. Reversal of the world front. The remnant power of the explosion plunged the floating island of the front into a burst of flying dust, and everyone and the elves fell into a situation where it was difficult to breathe. In the face of such terrifying power, even the King of Heaven feels unspeakably powerless. Dark Ray. Alu. Hey. Yang Yu raised his head from the dusty world and looked at the stars, trying to find that extremely familiar figure, but behind that light, Dark Ray was nowhere to be seen. How could it be, Dark Ray? You must have used a substitute to escape the disaster, right? Dark Ray, where is your substitute? Dark Ray. A small black cloth-like figure appeared in the hands of Cresselia, the god of dreams. This was the rag bag left in front of her when Dark Ray used a substitute to deceive her thousands of years ago. Now, Cresselia wants to look for Dark Ray with the rag bag in her hand. If she can see the substitute's rag bag. That's hope. That's the hope that Dark Ray still exists. But in the starry sky, everything is like dust. Yang Yu originally thought that after experiencing so much growth, he might no longer cry like a silly child like before, but he discovered that sometimes, there is really no better language than crying. Dark Ray, you said you wanted me to take you home. Dark Ray, Yang Yu, have never broken my promise before all the elves. I promised you that I would take you home. Endless roars, the starry sky, but no answer. However, Necrozma's pressure is still gathering. Pokémon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 1064. The human trainer camp remains silent in the silence. No matter which country or region it is in, the nightmare god has always been an elf in a villain role. Even elementary school students in the real world know that the nightmare god is a particularly terrifying elf. After all, at night, if you have a nightmare, your parents will say it is the cause of the nightmare god since you were a child. Therefore, in your childhood, the nightmare god is a bad elf and unknown. Symbol. Only what you see in front of you is real. Human trainers never thought that one day, in the midst of despair, there would be a light, a dark light, the power from the nightmare god, bringing hope to the elf world at the most critical moment. It turns out that Yang Yu and nightmare god Dark Ray know each other. People in the trainer camp were a little confused, but the current situation still did not allow them to think too much. In the starry sky of the reverse world, the sun, the moon, and the mysterious elves of darkness, the power of the three is almost integrated into one due to the previous energy bloom. The pain of elven fusion was still tormenting Necrozma at this time. When the power of the sun that makes people despair passes, what is left is endless darkness. The terrifying shadow ghost energy from Luna Yara replaced the original power of the sun and the original superpower in Necrozma's body. Such power! Giratina's eyes flashed with horror. As the most powerful ghost elf in the elf world, Giratina can clearly understand that if Necrozma's shadow ghost energy really powers out, perhaps the reverse world will usher in new changes. Maybe, there will be a new tomorrow in the reverse world. However, if this energy is transmitted to the real world of elves, then, the entire elven world will fall into eternal darkness. When the reverse world comes to the elf world, it only brings a brief period of darkness to balance the power of the entire elf world. However, if the real world of elves falls into the eternal world of darkness, that would be a world without a future. A future without a future. That is definitely not the world Darkrai wants to see. For Darkrai, Giratina gradually made the final decision. Necrozma, who is in the ultimate fusion, has followed an unprecedented path. It is painful to pursue it. Any force that affects its transformation into the ultimate body will be regarded as an absolute enemy. Because of their anger, Solgaleo and Lunala lost their sanity belonging to the Sun God and the Moon God. Now, when the endless shadow light spreads around like a dark world, all the bright light, even the light released by the sun's energy before, also fell into endless darkness. The night gave us black eyes so that we can find the light, Dragon Messenger Xiazhepeng said deeply. At this moment, at this critical moment, human beings need to stand up in a true sense, even if they pay everything, like Darkrai, who paid the price with his life. What we have now. Believe in yourself, believe in the super evolution of the elves, and believe in our Z power with all our heart, soul, and strength. There were no other voices in the human trainer camp, only the words of encouragement from the senior kings of each other's countries and regions echoed in their hearts. Yang Yu looked around in a daze, looking at Dumb, looking at the Salted Fish King, looking at Big Beauty, looking at Little Dream Demon, Hakron, Little Boom, Mimikyu, Jigglypuff, Tijipai, and Frost. Milk Fairy, Croaking Frog. Can you predict the future? A future without a future is not the future I want. Darkrai, I said, I will take you home. I will find the way to Crescent Island, and return to my hometown with your will. I haven't been able to do this, so why are I willing to die? Jiggy Ding. Bola. Mimi Q. Q. Frost Milk Fairy. Babble. Quack Quack Frog. Quack Quack Quack. Tijipai. Booby Mile. Hakron. Mif. And the Little Dream Demon. At this moment, for some reason, Yang Yu recalled a scene in his mind. That should be the only scene where Master Xi's skin god returns to the Pokeball. The power of Necrozma before my eyes. Is it really possible to stop it with the power that people have now? Come on, go back to the Pokeball. Yang Yu squatted down, looked at these elves who had not yet grown to the level of great beauty, and said with a smile. If it fails this time. Pokeball. Perhaps it is the only way to save these elves from the power of shadow light that destroys the world. Necrozma, with the anger of the whole world, Yang Yu, in the final analysis, is just an ordinary trainer, not a god. Salted Fish King, Dudu, Xiao Bao Bao, De Mei, leave the rest of the battle to us. In Yang Yu's hand, the Z bracelet had begun to shine with its last faint light. Little Dream Demon, before entering the Pokeball, give me Little Burst's Mega Bracelet. However, the elf ball in Yang Yu's hand was forcefully swatted away by the Little Dream Demon. Originally, the Little Dream Demon and the others thought that Yang Yu was calling their names, mobilizing for the final battle. However, I didn't expect that it was to let them enter the elf ball to avoid the crisis in front of them. Quack quack quack. Even though he was a croaking frog, he was still extremely angry at this moment. Although it does not have much combat power, it masters the golden healing shuriken that no other elves have mastered. This is also the power it can contribute. The magic fairy stick in the Little Dream Demon's hand has completely connected Little Bayo Bayo's Mega Bracelet with the palm of his hand in advance with the power of ghost attributes. At this moment, How could it leave its trainer behind? To know. The little dream monster is no longer the little dream monster before. It is trainer Yang Yu's reliable partner. Boli. Even in this world submerged in darkness, there are still elves, constantly releasing the light and heat deep in their hearts. When Necrozma's body in the ultimate space erupts with a desperate shadow light that makes the world tremble. Yang Yu, like other human trainers, wiped away the tears from the corners of his eyes, and together with the Dragon Messenger and other senior Heavenly King-level trainers. Let us fight side by side. Z that gives me all my heart, soul, and strength. Roar. This time, the Salted Fish King will stand in front of Dudu. Boli. Jigglypuff stared blankly at the microphone in his hand. Boo. Compared with the darkness of the starry sky, these lights may be too weak. When the light of the world is about to be completely swallowed up by the light of shadow. Pure singing, ethereal sound. Resounding. The whole starry sky. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 1065. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Skyfall. All. Little stars. Floating far away in the mist of the world. Like a diamond, the night sky is bright. This is the faint light that lights up in the darkness under that ethereal and pure voice. Jigglypuff must also use his own power to become a light against the forces of darkness. The little dream demon's heart palpitated, and in its mind, it recalled the song Yang Yu once sang to it. It was a song that seemed to make the world fall into silence. That power of destruction. It may have a different power than Jigglypuff's song at the moment, but in the little dream demon's heart, he quickly began to recall little by little details. Song of Death. If Necrozma is the only one who destroys the world of Little Dream Demon, then why can't he destroy Necrozma's only world instead? In Yang Yu's mind, the light of the Song of Destruction began to shine at this moment. However, the pouring of Z's power made it difficult for his thoughts to react from his concentration. However, when the four golden characters of Song of Destruction when it went straight to his head, Yang Yu's eyes finally focused on the little dream demon. What is this sound? Why did the power of that ultimate elf pause in the starry sky? Not only the pause in the power of the light of shadow, but also Dialga's space-time roar in the starry sky, Palkia's air cutting, and the power of Giratina's antimatter starburst and ghost diving, it's like they were frozen. It's King Yang Yushin's elf, Jigglypuff. It's Jigglypuff. Jiggy Ding, what song is this? What move is this? In the end, what happened? The faint light groping in the darkness is the light of hope for the world of humans and elves. The little dream demon stared blankly at the small amount of power called annihilation that had gathered in its hand but began to dissipate. In its crystal eyes, it seemed as if it could feel a trail of meteors passing by in the dark starry sky. You know, the entire reverse world is wrapped in darkness, and even the light of the stars has been completely submerged in darkness. Where did this meteor come from? The real world of elves? In the small homes with lights on, people living in this world, and there are many elves in the house. They shared a warm dinner together at the dining table, and looked at the endless dark night sky by the window. Praying together. Pray for the coming of light. Mom, when do you think we can see the sun and moon? Are they hiding secretly? In the night sky of the elves' real world, the shadow of the moon could still be seen at first, but as time went by and the crisis in the reverse world emerged, now even the stars could not be seen. We will see the sun and moon again soon. There are many heroes who have gone to the world in the starry sky to negotiate with the sun and moon, the mother said with a soft smile. Mom, I will be like those trainers in the future and take my elf friends to see the sun and moon in the starry sky. The advent of the reversal of the world has allowed many families who were working far away to reunite for a short time. Reunion is extremely beautiful, and more importantly, people believe that after the reunion, there will be a better tomorrow. Brothers, work harder, use your strength, and wrist strength. We are going to transport the food from the Hippo grilled fish shop to our front lines, so that the trainers and elves who maintain social stability can deliver hot food. Dinner. Hard work, sweat. In the dark night, there are still humans and elves, sticking to their posts. Even if they are just food delivery personnel. In the dark night, there will always be someone who turns into light and lights up the world with a small light of power. Jingle bell 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 bell. A shooting star streaked across the sky, and there was the beautiful sound of the fairy when the fairy sticks scattered their light. Such a sound attracted the attention of countless people and elves in the real world of elves. Dad, it's a shooting star. Come and make a wish, a shooting star is falling from the sky. Each and every voice of joy, in various languages around the world, conveys the wishes of people and elves to the dark night sky. At such moments, people and elves, I really need the light of the shooting star. Who did dash? In the sky of Meteor Forest, a purple figure slowly appeared. Under the dark night, Lao Hudi responded to the meteors in the sky, and his superpower turned into one light. Sakura Country, Kagawa Prefecture. The hometown of Millie, the silly king. Yeah boom. Yeah boom. Each slowpoke and slow hippopotamus, their eyes are always on the front, the body belonging to the leader of the Slowpoke clan, Slowpoke Wang Millie. At the moment when Millie the Day watched the meteors streaking across the night sky, streams of superpower seemed to turn into light from the bodies of the Day, and gathered towards the place where the meteors shone. Oh my God, how can I see, there are so many lights in the sky. Is the coming of the reverse world coming to an end? Hey, why are you glowing? Ha ha ha, why do I feel like there is light on you? In the world of humans and elves, the light of hope always exists. Everest. Ice Queen Wang Tongbing looked at the polar star that was about to lose its light. At the moment before the endless darkness truly arrived, the polar star seemed to appear like a shooting star. Silent, soundless, just uncontrollable trembling. Jiraki, yes, is it you? The front line of reversing the world. This is the most incredible scene that Giratina, Dialga, Pakia, and Cresselia have seen. When the meteor shower passed in front of the battlefield in this world, and the light finally stopped in front of the singing Jigglypuff and the bewildered little dream monster, the human trainers finally saw the true appearance of the meteor. Jiraki. It is said that the elf Jiraki wakes up once every 1,000 years and can help humans or elves make their wishes come true. It's the wishing star. Wish star Jiraki. Did it save us? Yang Yu looked at the elf Jiraki who appeared in front of Jigglypuff and Little Dream Demon with some confusion. It wasn't until an ethereal echo like a Sanskrit sound appeared in his mind that he finally woke up from his numbness. Jiraki crossed the field left by the light of shadow, and the continuous light became the power to resist the light of shadow, and the source of these lights. Exploded muscles. Exploded muscles. Jajaja. I'll mess with the bad food. These alien beasts from the ultimate space are also unwilling to watch the patron saint of their world completely destroy the elf world here. Except for their light. Is it the common power of the real world of elves? Bola. Jigglypuff's song ended in the ethereal air. Looking at the elf Jiraki who appeared in front of him, he stretched out his hand. Similarly, the power of the Song of Death gradually dissipated under the gentle starlight. Jiraki stretched out his other hand and held the little dream monster's hand. Whether it's Jigglypuff's Song of Hope, or the Song of Destruction that Little Dream Demon wants to sing but ultimately dissipates under Jiraki's gentle light. Everything is an extremely pure and ethereal sound. This is a hymn to mankind and a hymn to courage. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 1066. The Real World of Elves. Hangzhou, in a small rental house. Xiao Yu, get up and have breakfast. Today is the first day of school resumption, so don't be late. Yang Yu's voice came from the living room. I know, brother, let me sleep for 5 more minutes. Yang Yu shrugged helplessly. After taking Xiao to the reverse world and then returning here, it would be difficult to adjust the biological clock. Okay, 5 minutes is the promised 5 minutes. I'm watching the time, Yang Yu said with a smile. Click. Perhaps it was because it had not been lubricated for a long time, and the kitchen door made some harsh noises when it was opened. La 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 la. The magic wall puppet hummed a tune that it heard somewhere, wore an apron, and came to the living room carrying plates of nutritious breakfast. Yeah, ah. A dull and helpless cry for help came from the kitchen. Dede seems to have grown a little in size these days. The small kitchen that used to be just right now seems a lot smaller. If he wants to move, he will basically get stuck in the kitchen. Dedu, come back. Dedu, come out again. You stole something to eat? Yang Yu smiled and patted Dudu's belly. When I entered the kitchen, I could barely get in, but when I came out, it was stuck, not to mention that my mouth still smelled like fish. Yeah. Dai wiped his mouth innocently. He and the magic wall doll not only prepared breakfast for Yang Yu and Yang Xiao, but also prepared Xian, De Mele, and Xiao Yu in Dai's super space. A violent breakfast. It's been a long time since everyone has eaten the delicious food made by Dada. Of course, Dada must prepare it well. Little dream demon, little dream demon, little dream demon. Yang Yu looked out the window at the little dream demon chasing Bobo and couldn't help but smile. The sky outside has returned to normal, and the sun is very bright today. It is a good day. It has been more than a month since the reverse world separated from the real world of elves. The Chinese region in the real world has resumed daily life earlier than other countries and regions. The Elf Alliance continues to provide a large number of jobs to all walks of life, so that after office workers begin to be busy resuming social production, it is finally the students' turn to return to campus. After going through the reversal of the world group, Yang Yu will not forget what happened back then, and he also cherishes the life he has now even more. I don't know where the little dream demon caught a Bobo. In short, this Bobo looked at Yang Yu's expression and was so pitiful that he almost cried. Okay, little dream demon, stop bullying Bobo. Yang Yu smiled and shook his head. After staying in the reversal world for so long, which is a very suitable place for the growth of ghost-type elves, the little dream demon's current fighting power is probably no match for ordinary gym-level elves. Poor Bobo. Brother, I'm up. What's for breakfast today? Sana. Not long after Yang Xiao came out of the room, he could see Gardewar pulling Jengar's ears. The original purple-gray ears had now turned white, looking particularly miserable. However, judging from the expression on Jengar's face, he was probably enjoying it very much. Yes. This kind of life is finally back. However, Yang Yu will not forget that at the most desperate moment, Jigglypuff was holding the microphone, the little dream demon was holding the magic wand, and Tijipai, Guiguabu Frog. All the elf companions are by Yang Yu's side. On that day, did we all become light? After Jiraki appeared, relying on the magical power of wish, the angry Necrozma regained his sanity belonging to the guardian god of the ultimate space after completely completing the fusion of the ultimate body. The light shines, the moon shadows the stars. The power of the sun and the moon maintains a true balance. During the remaining time, human trainers and the elves of the reverse world work together to send the ultimate beasts back to the ultimate space. The sky of the reverse world was also under the control of ultimate Necrozma. Completely repaired under strength. Everything seems to be restored. However, what is lost can never be returned after all. Darkrai. Perhaps Darkrai seems to be a bit timid in normal times, and he has nothing to do with seriousness, but the moment he stood up and sacrificed his life for our real world of elves? It turns out that the power of evil can also bring light. It turns out that the Nightmare God also loves and protects our elven world. Without the evil power brought by Darkrai, how could we withstand the wrath of the sun? Without Darkrai, how could we truly seek and yearn for the light in the end? In the reverse world, Giratina, the dragon king of the underworld, Dialga, the god of time, and Palkia, the god of space, put aside their grievances with each other in front of Darkrai's tomb, guarding the world silently in the light, giving us the power to find hope in the darkness. Whenever night falls, the nightmare god Darkrai will always watch us in the starry sky. I believe, Darkrai, he must not be dead. The dream god Cresselia kept repeating this sentence. In her hands, Darkrai's rag substitute may be the last thing left by Darkrai in this world. Brother, what's wrong? Yang Xiao looked at brother Yang Yu motionless in front of the dinner plate, his eyes a little nervous. This is not the first time Yang Yu has done this. However, Yang Xiao also knew that this was because of the respectable elf guardian. When Jiraki left, he seemed to have left some message. Yang Yu frowned slightly. He seemed to have thought of something, but he was still thinking about it for a while. A dark red cloud. The world shrouded in dark red clouds. It has something to do with the elves' new power, and in that world, Jiraki seems to have seen Emperor Yan, etc. Yang Yu finally realized what he had overlooked before. Darkrai's farewell was a huge blow to Yang Yu. Even after the reverse world was separated from the real world of elves, it has been bothering Yang Yu and affecting his normal thoughts. In the real world of elves where we are, there are only legends about Sui Lord, Entei, and Thunder Lord. According to historical records, they died in a fire caused by a natural disaster more than 200 years ago. Jiraki saw the world where Emperor Yan existed on the starry sky road that came to our world. Fire Emperor, Sui Lord, Thunder Lord. The spirit guarded by the three of them, Phoenix King. If we can find traces of Ho-Oh, we can resurrect Darkrai. The flashing light in Yang Yu's eyes was the extremely burning light of hope. Even though Yang Yu knew that this hope was extremely slim, Yang Yu would not give up. Because at the most critical moment in the world, Darkrai turned into light and the light of hope, guarding the elven world he loved most and guarding Cresselia, the goddess of dreams. Darkrai, I promised to take you home. When Yang Yu suddenly stood up from his seat, all the elves around him looked at him with extremely bright eyes. Brother, come on. End of text. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 1067. It's over. Yang Yu's story is over. The mood is very complicated. After thinking about this final ending, I really didn't want to post it. Some book friends actually guessed a long time ago that the protagonist Yang Yu might die. In the end, the Phoenix King appeared and resurrected Yang Yu. But later, due to various reasons, in order to create a better Darkrai, it was Darkrai who was sacrificed in the end. The book actually rarely describes the death of elves. After all, it is too heavy. Mainly, Little Musket himself cannot describe that feeling. Nightmare God Darkrai. In fact, it is meant to pay tribute to Darkrai in the theater version, but in the previous appearance, it was acrobatic or sand sculpture. In Little Musketeer's mind, Darkrai has always been a hero. Because of the world, he had to give up his love for Cresselia. In some places, he did appear to be weak. However, where he was weak, he just did not want to cause a crisis to the world. After all, Darkrai needs to go through this. In fact, there are many ways to end, but I think this is the best. Writing the ending is indeed a lot of pressure. How should I put it? I really don't want to write it, but I have to write it. The ending was deleted and written, written and deleted and written again. It felt very contradictory. But now that it's posted, I hope this is the best ending. The elf's personality master has a total of 2.63 million words. Starting from May 22, 2019, to October 30, 2020, it lasted 527 days. In the later period, due to physical reasons, many updates were interrupted. In addition, due to the fear factor of choosing the ending and finishing the book, Little Musket would like to sincerely apologize to every book lover who has supported the book. This book has been up to now and has achieved its current results without the support of all trainers. I am really sorry that these last few chapters have been updated for a long time. Finally, I will report the results. About 3,700 collections of 290,000 words have been put on the shelves. The first order was 940. After the completion of the book, the average order is about 4,300. Thank you for your support. The stories of Darkrai, Ho-Oh, Suicune, Entei, and Raikou may unfold in another world in the next book. The book Elf's Character Master does not involve the power of Gigantamax, and basically ends here with Super Evolution and Z moves. It ends here because the power system seems a bit messy here and will be difficult to expand later, so this is the best choice. This is my first elf writing. There are many unsatisfactory and poorly written parts. I hope all trainers will bear with me. Thank you all trainers for reading my book. The journey of being a trainer is a long one. See you in the next book. I'm really just a meow. Interested book friends can click to collect it. If you think it is barely enough for your eyes, please give me a recommendation ticket from all trainers. Little Musketeer would be very grateful. Finally, if you want to see the extra, which elf you want to see, please leave a message in this chapter or in the comments. The text ends here. Thank you Little Musket.